wishing for this message to get floated to Erin Musgrave in Colorado. Erin, I'm your cousin. Your mother's father is my Uncle Tommy. He had 10 brothers and sisters, which led to 100 people. And the 100 people should be reconnecting over time and should be a team. Should. We could and could have helped, enrich in various ways. Your great-grandmother, Ida, did not have 10 children, which led to 100, for everyone to camp out through America and never speak again. That speaks of something dark and sinister, an energy that is not of the light. That is not of the light. I know many, perhaps millions, would say, oh, you must refrain from airing dirty laundry. Yet I have tried respectfully more than once to reach out to your realm. And none of you yet have reached back. You should, though, as that is the mark of decency and professionalism and respect, so that we can speak eye to eye and have a civil conversation and try to work out whatever it is that needs to be worked out, whatever needs to be repaired. I know myself, I never did anything abominable. Abominable being defined as stealing $1 million from a family member, or fist-fighting a family member, or touching inappropriately a family member. I've not only not done anything abominable towards anyone in my family, I've never done those things to anyone. Those things would be appropriate reason to distance. Yet I never did any of those things. When I meditate carefully, I come up with a whole bunch of things that are of an ugly nature. Ugly. I believe your grandmother, Rhoda, encouraged her husband to refrain from speaking to the rest of his family. And she should never have done that. That was wrong. That was wrong. I know this because when I looked at the obituary of Tommy Nathaniel Ryan on December 31st, 2007, it states that he is survived by children and grandchildren, perhaps one sister, just a token sister maybe. But he had 10 brothers and sisters. That was disrespectful not to acknowledge all of those other people that Grandma Ida created. That was nothing but disrespectful, 150%. Rhoda perhaps painted the family, Tommy's brothers and sisters and descendants, in an entirely derogatory light. Unequivocally, this was disrespectful. The only other things I can think of is maybe some of you are semi-involved in things you oughtn't be. So you distance because of that. I know Tommy, my uncle, was a bookie at one point in Chicago, and I was told that the only way he could have done that years ago was to have been involved with this thing I guess they call the mafia. And maybe parts of you are like, hey, we're super cool. We're kind of associated with gangsters and you're not. So then you created distance maybe because of that. Maybe your grandmother and your parents handed you over money. And sometimes when money is just handed to children and grandchildren, there can be a spoiledeth brat nature, a spoiledeth brat mentality. Because you don't know the feeling of earning money from the ground up. When you go and you earn money and are self-supporting from the ground up, it truly humbles you. It truly humbles you. When you Google the word Musgrave, Colorado, Musgrave in general, there are several Erin Musgraves, and I sort of wish I was related to one of them instead, as most of them look very approachable and open and truly trying to be helpful towards others, without extreme kinds of thinking or severe kinds of judgment. One Musgrave in Colorado, I believe, is involved in politics. I saw a couple videos, one of which it looks as though there are either constituents or residents or reporters questioning this woman as she and somebody else are walking away, not answering any questions, when in truth, if you're elected by people, you should answer questions from your constituency with a sense of enthusiasm, as these people are the ones you represent. So this kind of video helps me to see how on both sides you have people modeling how to walk away. How to walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away, versus how to remain and parse through the difficult conversations, even though it may feel uncomfortable. Speaking of modeling, I believe you may have done a form of that years ago with someone named John Casablanca. I know somebody else who worked for him briefly years ago, and she told me he tried to have his way with various women. This was said to me directly. Women that worked for him years ago. So I didn't quite understand why you would do that, or why your parents would allow you to do that. This is not behavior to model, or model behavior on some level of the universe. You are my blood, Erin, you and your sister Ariana, and I would like to sit with both of you and your parents and Stephen and Amy and Michael eye to eye, and let's parse out and repair any grievances whatsoever. I know I didn't do anything abominable. 150% on the heads of everyone's children. I am just making conscientious, concerted effort to carefully reunite with every strand of our bloodline. Once again, Grandma Ida did not have 10 children, which led to 100 people, for us to scatter and disperse and disconnect and be committed, fiercely committed to disconnecting for the rest of our lives. disconnecting and getting excited, and perhaps getting off to some degree from disconnecting. Right now, all I can see is all of you are causing that from your end, not mine, while I sit here alone. And I do want to say fuck off. And I do want to say you bunch of motherfuckers. Because what you are doing is wrong. It's left me entirely alone. And as a woman, it's very difficult and cruel. It's a form of abandonment and ghosting, and it's a form of cruelty. Moreover, you are all from a culture, with the exception of Butch, where you are all supposed to be acting at the highest level of ethics. And our last name is Levine. So your conduct ought to be at even a higher level of behavior. Not even sure how any of you could be sought after in work if you act in one part of the universe in this kind of immoral and unethical fashion. Once again, Grandma Ida did not have 10 children, which led to 100 people, for all of us to commit and dig our heels into the ground with grumpiness and never speak again. There is a dark energy, a sinister energy in all of that, and it is not emanating from my end. My email is listed here on this video, reunitingthelevines415@gmail.com. Please, can we reconnect? Please, can we meet for coffee and work out any of our differences with the intention to heal and repair, heal and repair, heal and repair.